Right, hey guys, what is going on? My name is Ben and welcome to this video. Today, I'm doing a little bit of a rant and I'm a little bit borderline frustrated to say, well, the least. So, last week I saw a video in which somebody showed Hasbro Gaming, that's right, the people who make like board games and stuff, have released a version of Monopoly, so the little man with monocle, for women. Okay. Now, this game was made in order to tackle the gender pay gap. Now, a little bit of a weird, contradictory game. Let's tackle sexism with sexism. The reason I said sexism, the first one in quotation marks, is because there's no such thing. We'll get onto that. But let's talk about the game. So, this version of Monopoly is called Ms. Monopoly, or MS Monopoly, because, you know, they've obviously been divorced because that's why their lives are so difficult. That's why they've got no money, you know, because that's just the way society is, apparently. So, at the start of the game, if you're a woman, you will be given more money than your male counterparts. Okay, and instead of like buying and renting properties, you're supposed to be an entrepreneur and an inventor. A woman inventor. Not saying there isn't woman inventors, of course, but okay, that's just very different to the Monopoly I played as a child. To be fair, I don't remember playing Monopoly as a child, but, you know, couldn't afford games as kids. What was wrong with the normal version? I get that there's multiple different versions of Monopoly, there's all different types, but the difference is Simpsons Monopoly, or whatever sort of Monopoly that there is. I know for a fact there's a Simpsons one. That, literally, there's no literal correlation between Simpsons Monopoly and feminist sexist Monopoly. They've literally made this game in order to satisfy the SJW, social justice warriors, fucking feminists, feminazis, or whatever the fuck we call them, because bit balmy. Now, the main reason why they have done this is to try and combat what the media want to portray to us as the gender pay gap. Now, we're just going to debunk the gender pay gap really quickly. I'm gonna go into it a little bit more, but let me just debunk it quickly for you. In most countries in the world, it is illegal to pay somebody different because of their sex / organs that they have downstairs / gender / sexuality / colour / religion / they can't pay you differently. If you are doing the same job, you will be paid the same amount. What there is an earnings gap, because when they take this, they take statistics for what women earn compared to what men earn. And that is obviously different because men and women do very different jobs. So they say that, oh, there's this gender pay gap. It's not. Women, on average, will earn less. But that is because less women do harder jobs. For example, firefighters. 7% of firefighters in the UK and America are women. 93% of them are men. Firefighters is obviously a hard job compared to being a nursery nurse or a fucking, I don't know what else women do. Women also have a thing in between their legs, which after a man's done his business, they usually grow a baby. Now after about 8 months of the baby being inside you, you take time off work, you shit out the baby, you take about a year off afterwards. Now, I get you get paid for maternity leave, but you don't get paid as much as if you were working. Now, there is a lot of women that have a lot of babies. So in a national average, because women are taking more time off to have kids and stay at home and look after their families and stuff, they're going to earn less because they're not working as much. Statistically speaking, men do harder jobs. Like in the olden days, women wouldn't have gone down mines. Women would have stayed at home and cooked, cleaned, looked after the children. Now I get women don't do that these days, but like I was saying, on average, women even work less hours as well. Men do, I don't know what 9 to 5, as Dolly Parton once said in a song, I don't know. I think it was Dolly Parton. I don't know. But, I mean, more than likely, you're going to start later than 9 and finish earlier than 5 because they've got to drop the kids off in the morning for 9 o'clock at school and pick them up for free at night. So they could probably work from 10 till 2, which is a 4-hour shift, which is a lot different from 9 to 5, which is an 8-hour shift, I think, if that mental maths was right. You know, so they're going to earn less, and this gender pay gap is done from these averages. If you were to do it on a company basis, if a company was to pay a member of staff less for doing the same job, so, I don't know, say you worked at Morrison's and you stacked shelves and one of you was a man and one of you was a woman, you'd be on the same rate, which is probably about minimum wage. Don't know why that was the job I thought of, but you'd be on less. Now, the manager at my local Morrison's is a man, and I would assume, and probably rightly so, that the manager will be on more money than the people who stack shelves. So, in my local Morrison's, the manager is a man, and I know that for a fact. I've been in his office because I got paid for. Well, I didn't get paid, but I'd know that for a fact because he took me into his office because I complained about something on Twitter, and they give me 20 quid's worth of Morrison's vouchers, and Kellogg's sent me 6 quid in Pringles vouchers because Kellogg's make Pringles, which is weird. So, thanks for that. Appreciate it. He will be on more money than the people who stack shelves. It's just the way it works. That's just how life is. But then teachers in primary schools are mainly women. In high schools, they're mainly men. Mainly, kind of, sort of. But primary school teachers might earn a bit less than high school teachers because their primary school is less valuable. Well, it's not less valuable because it's the fundamental stages, but, you know, it's not as vital as something like high school in year 11 or whatever. I don't know. I don't actually know the statistics of teachers and things, but I'm just going to make an assumption. But it's pretty evident that there is no such thing as a gender pay gap. So, pretty much defunct with facts. So all you feminazis out there, you can't be like, there's a gender pay gap, I get paid less. Because if you genuinely get paid less than your male counterparts for doing the same job, if you stack shelves and he stacks shelves, you wipe arses, he wipes arses, you suck dick, he sucks dick, if he genuinely gets paid more than you, then complain to your local authorities. If he's a manager and you stack shelves, expect to get paid less. Because he's higher up on the hierarchy, yeah? The only time there will be a pay difference is in your level in the work that you do. I'd like to call myself a video person. I get paid less than people who teach media at college. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's a woman, she earns more than I do. I earn less than Theresa May did, or Margaret Thatcher did, or the Queen does, because we do different things. You can't really compare, I don't know, a nursery nurse to a London banker. It just doesn't work. They should do it on a company basis. No, they should do it on a job basis. But like I say, if you are getting paid less for being a woman or different ages, actually no, technically ages isn't a reason. They're allowed to pay you less for your ages. So that's a bit cunty, because if you're doing the same thing, you should get paid the same. So actually, yeah, let's talk about that quickly, because the only pay gap there is between the ages. So if you're under 18, you're on $4.30 an hour, and if you're over 25, the minimum wage is like 8 something. So, but if you're both stacking shelves in Morrison's, and you're on less because you're younger, but then you've got to pay more for your car insurance because, you know, you're younger, that's not really fair, is it? You're doing the same line of work, just because you're a bit younger doesn't mean you should get paid less. So I think they should probably squash the minimum wage and just say for anyone who works, the minimum wage is $8.59 an hour or whatever it is. And that's the minimum you can earn, no matter how old you are. Because that's a load of shite. But that is where I'm going to end my little rant about gender and pay and Monopoly. Really, this has nothing to do with Monopoly, but it's just because Monopoly have literally released a game that's trying to combat sexism that's not really sexism with more sexism. It just doesn't make sense in my head, because how can you fight sexism or supposed sexism with real sexism? This video gets 50 likes, I'll buy Ms. Monopoly and I'll find females to play it with. I'll probably have to buy them off eBay, so, I mean, the females, not the game. So yeah, anyway, that is where I'm going to end this video. Hopefully you did enjoy. Be sure to let me know by leaving a big fat like down below. I apologise for not uploading for the past 2 weeks. I just didn't know what to do it on, and then I saw this. I might do one about the Hey Guys video, because that's a load of bollocks and all. Social justice warriors, if you're offended, kill yourself. If you're offended, kill yourself. And that is pretty much that. So see you later. Also, I've got a new camera, so if it looks better and it's in focus without me touching it, then that is why.